everybody to Cheap Pops.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
These entrances. Don't you dare.
What? It's athletic tape.
Oh, welcome back. If you've watched us before, if you haven't, we talk wrestling, we talk pop culture. I mean, my God, we got Jeff Hardy and the NWO behind us, so we got a lot to talk about. I mean, it's WrestleMania season, and there's movies coming out. I mean, I've got the Doctor Doom jersey on, so Avengers Doomsday is coming out. So much going on, and this man just came back from vacation, so he's got stuff to show off. I've got a bunch of stuff to show. Oh, don't fall. Uh-oh. No! So before we get started on the wrestling, what games have you been playing?
Lately, mostly Hogwarts Legacy.
Yep.
And you already know the personal reason why behind it, why I didn't play it when it first came out, when I first bought it. Well, I didn't buy it. Well, you already know.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that. It is an awesome game to play.
Yeah, I need to drag out the Xbox and start playing that, but there's a lot of games coming out, and we keep seeing stuff about the new wrestling game, and
yes,
Demolition is going to be in it, and now that they've been announced for the Hall of Fame, and the Undertaker's like the new Todd Pettengill.
Yeah,
like he's the one announcing everybody into the Hall of Fame. Like I just don't. And for all those people that are saying he inducted people into the Hall of Fame, he has not inducted anyone.
No,
he has announced that they are a part of it. I love wrestling fans. I know a lot of wrestling fans, but some wrestling fans are dumb as a fence post.
Yes,
and I don't understand.
Well, look at the shit I've been sending you about some of them.
Yeah,
fucking Christ.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb people. But it was this man's birthday, and I found a comic book. I love Google.
Ooh.
I found a comic book that was released on his actual birthday on the year he was born, so I got you that.
Yes.
And do you want to grab your other gift that's down there?
I definitely want to get this framed and hung.
Yeah, that's really cool. While he's getting that out, I watched this movie. This was in the $5 bin at Walmart. The Killer's Game with Batista. He plays a hitman who thinks he has a terminal illness, so he puts a contract out on himself. It's a really, really good movie. I would recommend it for everybody. It's really, really good. Don't cut too deep into it.
Try not to.
I hope you like what it is, but he went to Florida. He went to Hogan's Beach Shop. I'm sure he's got plenty of stuff from that to show off and everything.
Oh, definitely.
There we go. It's been a little bit since we've... Oh, that's cool.
Ooh. One of 3,000.
Thunder Rosa from AEW.
Yeah.
Speaking of Thunder Rosa, she made her comeback in AEW, and I'm not happy about who she beat. Her first match back, and she beats Julia Hart. What? Why is it Julia Hart? She's been doing so good, especially with Sky Blue. Why is Julia Hart the one that takes the pinfall in Thunder Rosa's return match? I don't understand that. There's so many people on the roster, or you could have brought somebody in. You know, you like bringing indie talent in and stuff. Why did it have to be Julia Hart? I don't understand that at all.
Ooh.
I mean, I like AEW and everything, but that I just don't understand that.
Ooh, it's a Ring of Honor action figure.
Yeah. Oh, Claudio. That's cool.
What is it? If I can get the fuck out of the box.
Yeah, they heavily box their stuff. Claudio Castagnoli. Wow, just throw it at me.
Yeah, it slides out.
Does it slide out?
Yep.
I don't know. But some news and notes. So I talked about the Hall of Fame for 2026. Stephanie McMahon, yawn. AJ Styles, which is really cool, and Demolition. So
Hell yeah.
That's 1 of 5,000. That's actually pretty cool. I don't even know how this fucking opens.
Neither do I. The fuck? I want to take a look at it.
Oh, there it goes. It slides.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's actually him from old school. Look at that. It's him from the old school Ring of Honor from the Kings of Wrestling days. That's
Dude,
actually really
and
cool.
it has a interchangeable head when he had long hair.
Yep, and it's got the Ring of Honor microphone. That's actually pretty badass.
That is.
That's really cool. I like that. So that's your birthday. I wanted to do something different. You know what I mean?
Thank
So,
you, bro.
You're welcome. I'm happy about Demolition going into the Hall of Fame. It's long overdue.
Yeah,
and
it's way long overdue.
they're my favorite tag team, and with a lot of the stuff going posthumously, with people dying before they get into the Hall of Fame, those are two people that deserve to get it while they're alive and can enjoy it. And they're getting the action figures, they're getting video games. I'm hoping that that they're not. I mean, Crush obviously isn't going to be a part of it for this, but I hope they do put him in at some point, solo, because he did have a really long career. So,
they might put him in as Bryan Adams because he is actually getting. No, was it?
Yeah, Bryan Adams.
All right, yes, because he is getting a release NWO action figure in the Monday Night Wars.
Dude, I can't wait to get that.
Yes,
that's so cool. Ring of Honor has a new studio set up. They're actually going to be doing a smaller venue instead of doing the venues that they've been with AEW. I like that idea. Then you don't have to worry about the AEW crowd being tired, because like when we went and saw AEW, by the time they were filming Dark and then they finally got to the full show, it kind of wears you out a little bit, I got one thing I got to talk about. I know I talk about her all the time. Deonna Purrazzo. Yes, she's gained weight, and yes, that.
You know what? Fuck.
I know, but I'm saying, I'm sure I've done it before. I'm sure I've done body shaming before, but shit's getting out of control with the way wrestling fans. Because to me, these people aren't fans.
No.
Because you wouldn't say this shit if you were at a meet and greet. You wouldn't say that shit to her face.
No.
You get behind a keyboard. Like, we're doing this, people can watch it. People, this could go out to potentially millions of people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But when you're commenting on her Instagram or her, the comments to her podcast with her husband Steve Macklin, there's the people with all body types. And you know what? I've said stuff about Nia Jax and I shouldn't have. And if I met her, I would probably apologize for it because it's not right. Like, you don't know what she's going through at all. You know what I mean? And she's talked about she struggled with it and everything, and people commenting on it can't help at all.
No.
If I said her wrestling sucked, like I say Charlotte sucks as a wrestler, that's one thing, but the body shaming shit really needs to stop.
Yes.
I really do believe that, and she's a good wrestler, especially if you watch her Impact stuff, and I think she's lost a lot of confidence, and it's showing a little bit, but I mean, she's the Ring of Honor pure champion right now, but they could have done so much more with her, and it's,
absolutely,
we had a request, and I feel so bad because this person, Nick Opolewski, I hope I'm not pronouncing your name wrong, has requested this before, and I completely forgot about it.
Hey, wait a minute. It's still going to be a next pick then.
Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, it will be. Yeah, it'll be a next pick. We're going to call it Viewer's Choice. That was his idea. He wants us to review Royal Rumble 1990. Now, we will do it on our next episode. And I like this pay-per-view. It's actually a really good pay-per-view. So we will do that on the next episode. We apologize that we didn't do it before. Also, I didn't see the message because I didn't see the message on Facebook Messenger. But we will do Royal Rumble 1990 on the next episode. So thank you for the suggestion.
Yes.
And you created a whole new segment on the show. So thank you for that. I don't know if you saw any of NXT, but Zarya finally turned on Sol Ruka.
I did.
Which is pretty cool. And Miles Bourne is the new North American champion. He beat Ethan Page. I'm hoping that means they're going to call up Ethan Page because I think they need more heels up on the main roster. Definitely do. Because Trick Williams is supposed to be a heel, but he's getting cheered now. If you watch the Elimination Chamber, he's got the catchy music.
Speaking of, is it Trick Williams or the, he was just in the Elimination Chamber too, besides
Javon Evans?
Yes. His rating in the new wrestling game is overall is a 78, and fucking Jelly Roll has a 80 overall?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's just stupid. The game rating systems are just stupid, but I'm kind of hit or miss on NXT. There's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff, but I keep watching it just because I want to see what is good. I mean, Joe Hendry is the NXT champion right now, so that's really cool.
And what we have behind the hard cam right now is the very last WWF pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, Backlash 2002. Yeah.
Yep.
And there's Kane in the NWO shirt with the Kane mask.
No, that is X-Pac.
X-Pac. I was looking at the mask. X-Pac with the Kane mask with Scott Hall. So, yeah, 2002 was such an underrated year, in my opinion.
I just wish that the boys in the back and everything weren't pissy about getting, letting, like, the, putting over the NWO, because they could have done a lot with the fucking NWO.
They could have, but it was a different time. So,
yes. And I wish that they didn't take Hulk Hogan out of it, because I've showed you what I've done, like with the creative belt, with them with this looking spray painted the WWF belt and the undisputed title belt.
The problem is he was getting cheered so much he couldn't fight that. You know what I mean? Because what are you going to do? Turn the whole NWO babyface, and that kind of just defeats the purpose at that point. Right. I mean, unless you were doing an NWO Wolfpack kind of thing.
Yes.
I think splitting that off in WWF wouldn't have worked. But speaking of NXT, the last thing on NXT, Booker T has been named worst announcer. I think it was in the Wrestling Observer voting, which I don't care how many people are mad at it. He is the worst wrestling announcer on the planet. I am sorry. I don't care who else you talk about. Booker T is the absolute worst. And you know what? If you go back and watch like 2011, 2012, you can see it start creeping in. And now he's just so over the top. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
It's just... And he's trying to be a heel announcer, but he's also getting excited for the baby faces and doing like the whoop that trick thing. He completely ruined that entrance. For me, anyways. You know? And he's one of the main reasons why I don't feel the need to watch NXT, because I hate hearing his commentary. I really wish that WWE had where you could like where you can toggle from Spanish to English. I wish you could toggle into different announcers for their shows, so I didn't have to listen to Booker T. You know what I mean? Because it's bad. But that's all the news I've got. I'm not really going in chronological order for this stuff. I want to do Elimination Chamber. Did you catch any? Did you watch highlights of the Elimination Chamber?
Yes. I had to work that night.
Okay. I watched the whole thing because I've found ways on the internet to Google is amazing. You can find streams of it. I mean, it's after the fact, and it had a bunch of ads that I had to skip, but I don't care because I'm not paying to get it off of ESPN.
I'm not paying for ESPN because it's through the bundle of Hulu and Disney.
Yeah.
It's all bundled into one.
Right. So, the Elimination Chamber, we've talked about it before. Go back to the old one.
Yes.
This new one is stupid. It looks dumb. It's got too much of the glass in it, you know. And I know they don't want people getting injured. But having the padding over where the steel used to be on the outside of it, it's not as menacing as it used to be at all, you know.
Just like the cell still looks a little bit menacing.
But nowhere near like it used to.
No.
But for the women's chamber, that was the opening match. Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Raquel Rodriguez, and Rhea Ripley were all in the pods. So Kiana James and Tiffany Stratton started it out. I thought it was really funny. This ring announcer, Mark Nash, sucks, by the way. He does. He's like, it's like if Mike Adamle at one point became a ring announcer. Because he screws up names. And he said when the chamber's open instead of open.
Oh my god!
And that's not the first time Lillian Garcia made mistakes. That's true, but she's got better. This guy has not gotten better. He just I don't know. It came down. It was a good match. The chamber matches are. The multi-man matches are starting to be a little bit too much, in my opinion, because it looks like they're going to be going towards multi-man matches at WrestleMania again. And I get it. They got to get a bunch of people on the card, but you got 2 nights. I don't think you really need to,
No.
But so it came down to Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley.
The only one I said that deserves to be a multi-man match is the world title match, because they need. They need to do something big with Finn.
I think he's turning babyface, and I think he's going to start doing the demon again.
Yes.
Which is good, because they need some more babyfaces, to be honest. And Judgment Day, I like the idea of it being Dom, Rhea, and Liv, and Raquel. I think that's actually...
And JD.
Yeah, because I think JD's definitely going to turn on Finn, Tiffany Stratton went for the prettiest moonsault ever, and Rhea Ripley pushed her into the pod and off the top rope, and then hit the riptide and got the win. So it's going to be Rhea Ripley against Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. I'm hoping Rhea Ripley can get something good out of Jade Cargill, but I'm not holding my breath on her. The Intercontinental title match for the Women's Intercontinental title, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. Jessica Carr was the referee. She's the one Becky's been having the problems with, so that's kind of funny.
If we could get a match at WrestleMania with her and Jessica Carr,
I think that would be great.
Yes.
Have AJ Lee wrestle like Io Sky or somebody like that at WrestleMania, and then... Or Raquel. I think it should be Raquel. I really do. I think she's been really impressive, and I think...
Big Mommy Cool.
Yeah, and she hasn't been using the big sexy thing since, but I really like that too. And I think she should go... Her against AJ Lee, I think would be awesome.
Yes.
And have her turn babyface afterwards. Have her stay in the Judgment Day for now, but then have her, face AJ Lee at WrestleMania. I'd like to see Jessica Carr wrestle, because she did wrestle. She has trained. She does know how to wrestle, so I think that would be really cool. I think that's where they're going with it eventually. It might just be a one-off match, but I could definitely see
But still, it'd be awesome. But
they did a ref bump, and it was a very good match, but AJ Lee's the new Intercontinental Champion, so I thought that was really cool. I think it's funny how the crowd knows who she is, but they don't know who Danhausen is, who we'll talk about later. I don't understand.
Neither do I.
Well, I was talking about this with somebody at work. If you have WWE social media content on your Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, how are you not seeing anything with Danhausen?
Right.
Because your algorithm should show you wrestling stuff, not just WWE stuff. So I don't understand how these people haven't seen anything of Danhausen at all. I just don't. But whatever.
And them fucking booing him? Fuck you.
I think that was more because some people expected it to be Chris Jericho in that crate, and I don't understand that either. But I mean, he's done stupid stuff the past couple of years, but I don't see him coming out of a crate for his WWE return. It had to be Danhausen.
Yeah.
And his T-shirt is the #1 selling T-shirt right now, and he just debuted.
What's really cool is that with one of the dancers was his wife.
Yep, and she choreographed the whole thing, which is pretty cool. Balor versus CM Punk for the world title. CM Punk used... See, now I thought this was it is the Ricky Steamboat music from the 80s, but I guess the Chicago Bulls use it for their entrance, into the arena. So I get... And he came out... The ring announcer for him... For CM Punk was the Chicago Bulls announcer. They're in the United Center. It makes sense. It's where the Bulls play. Pretty cool. I mean, Punk attention to detail is always amazing. So, I have to say, as a Red Wings fan, I hate that CM Punk had Chicago Blackhawks style, trunks and stuff. But he's from Chicago. I get it. He's a Blackhawks fan. Just wanted to throw that in there. Really good match. CM Punk retained. You talked about Finn needs more, and I think he's going to get it. Because they need to bring more people up. Because Cody is not getting the reaction he used to. LA Knight keeps screwing up spots in the matches, and Dave said to me, he's like, I don't think he's going to get him in the main event again. I think he'll be in the main event, but I don't think they're going to put the world title on him now. You know, he's Braun Strowman now. You know, and I hate to say it, I think he's always going to be over because of he's so charismatic, you know, and everything. But I just don't think they're going to pull the trigger on him now. No. You know, and I love that he's able to jump. He has the vertical leap to be able to jump up to the top rope. But after you've screwed it up a couple of times, just stop doing it. Or figure out something else that you're going to do, you know, with that vertical leap, you know. Shelton Benjamin used to do that, but he used to catch it all the time. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, and I also think that the fact that they're actual ring ropes and not cables, so they're not as stable as cables, makes it, you know, harder, but, you know. And, of course, Danhausen came out of the box with the coffin, and you're right, they booed him. But if you watch a lot of the videos, there was a lot of cheers as well.
Yes, there were.
And like I was saying to you, an AEW Chicago crowd is a lot different than a WWE Chicago crowd. There are a lot of WWE fans that never watch anything other than WWE, and you can see it by a lot of these influencers and stuff that all they do is review WWE content. All the belts that are behind them are WWE, and they're, you know, it just, I've when I was a kid, yes, I was loyal to one brand, but I also didn't have the internet where I could find out about every other wrestling promotion on the planet. I mean, we're going to be talking about 3 indie shows that we're going to be going to that are part of my Facebook algorithm. You know what I mean? They come up on my timeline all the time. So,
and me growing up as a kid, we had the freaking Monday Night Wars.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. The men's Elimination Chamber was the main event. Trick Williams came out first, got a hell of a reception. He's got catchy music. They can chant "Whoop That Trick." And he's really good, so that's good.
Thank God it's not Booker T.
Right. LA Knight was number 2, Logan Paul was number 3, and Randy Orton was number 4. That's all the guys in the pods. So it started out with Cody and Javon Evans, and the ring announcer called him Javon Williams.
Ugh.
You know, I get it. You make a mistake, but if it keeps happening, you know, I don't know. Everybody came out, no eliminations before all the pods were open. That doesn't happen very often, so that was actually pretty cool to see. LA Knight stopped trying to do the jump to the top rope. He also tried to do an elbow drop off the top rope and landed on his feet because he slipped, and the crowd got on him about that. So.
But I had to laugh because Randy Orton broke character and started laughing.
Yeah, that's funny shit. He doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, he just doesn't.
He's having fun. He does, you know. He says he wants to wrestle another 10 years, so, you know, like, which is fine. I mean, you know, I'm not tired of Orton anymore. No. You know what I mean? Like I was for a while.
At least he's not doing most of the same old shit. At least true. He's.
That's definitely true. Logan Paul had 3 eliminations. The Masked Man came in and kicked Logan Paul and gave him a stomp. The big reveal, who is it?
Seth Rollins.
Seth freaking Rollins.
And like I said, when they did it on SmackDown, you people need to fucking just let it play out.
Mm-hmm. Because it was a nobody. It's actually one of Seth Rollins' students at his wrestling school. But like you said, they jump to conclusions way too much. Like, do you really think WWE is just going to have some random dude under the mask and have that be who it is? Like, they've done some stupid things, but they're not that stupid. No. You know, but it came down to Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Drew McIntyre came out and attacked Cody. So what does Randy Orton do? He's the Viper. He capitalized on it, hit an RKO, and now he's the #1 contender. But Nick Aldis made a match for Friday on SmackDown. It's going to be Drew McIntyre against Cody Rhodes. People I've talked to think Cody's going to win the title. I hope not. And if he does, Drew's just going to complain. So they'll make it a triple threat, or they'll throw Jacob Fatu in there too. And because I think if Cody Rhodes is going to win it, Jacob Fatu is going to screw Drew McIntyre out of it. Yeah. So that's going to give Drew an out. And so then it's going to be made a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania, which I hope doesn't happen. If I want to see Orton in a one-on-one match, but I would see, if you're going to do it, Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes in a one-on-one match for the world title. Yes. And then you do a one-on-one grudge match, Drew McIntyre against Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. You know,
and whoever wins that should be the number one contender.
Exactly. Totally. That would make sense. Because then you're doing Backlash the next month. Perfect. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot going on for WrestleMania season. Like I've said, I'm not excited about WrestleMania. I don't care. The Raw after Elimination Chamber was actually really good.
Yes, it was.
Rollins attacked Paul Heyman, hit him with a chair, just like he did to Roman Reigns at the end of the Shield, and he gave Paul Heyman a stomp. And I love Paul Heyman, but physical stuff just ain't for him right now. You know?
He can fucking sell though.
He can
fucking sell.
But he just I don't want to say he's as awkward as Vince McMahon, but he kind of is. You know.
Well, look at the freaking triple power bomb. How they barely could get him up for that.
True. But Gunther had a really good match with Dragon Lee. You really like this feud, and I do too. He put him in the sleeper and he unmasked him. I mean, you couldn't fully see his face because they all wear face paint underneath their masks. But he choked him out, and Dragon Lee.
And I will say this: Gunther did shield his face from the cameras and everything.
He did a really good job.
To the people that are pissed about it, damn well he wouldn't do it on purpose.
No, he's not that malicious. That's just
And guaranteed, Dragon Lee had to agree to it and everything.
Of course.
And AAA promotion and everything had to agree with it too.
Yeah. Yep. They had a confrontation between Rusev and Obafemi. So that if they're teasing that's pretty cool. That'll be a badass match. And then they do a backstage segment. This was great.
Yes.
Adam Pearce is talking on the phone. He turns around and there's Danhausen, and he says, "I came out to thunderous applause and cheers," which is fun. And the look on Adam Pearce's face, he's like, "Okay, the sarcastic face is just great." So Danhausen says, "I have some demands." He says demands, and he goes, "Yes, Demandhausens," which is, he's going to put Hausen on everything, and it's perfect. If you don't know the gimmick, it's just tremendous.
And he calls him Stone Cold.
He called him Stone Cold. Then he said, "I'm Adam Pearce," and he goes, "Oh, with the glasses, yes, Adam Pearce." And then he says his demands, he wants a blimp, he wants a Hall of Fame induction this year, his own cameraman, his own personal assistant, and I think there was something else, but I can't remember. And then he hands the list to Adam Pearce, and he says, "Why is it soggy?" And what does he say? "Because I fell on the toilet."
Yep.
And Adam Pearce says, "What are we doing?" And Judgment Day starts walking by. So Adam Pearce says, Hey, Judgment Day, have you met Danhausen?" And Danhausen says, "Hi, Finn, hi, Dom." And then he goes, "Hi,
what's your name?"
Yeah, he doesn't even say what's your name. He just asks. He can't remember who it is. And J.D. McDonough says, "I already hate this guy." And it's like, no, he's new. He's nice, And then Danhausen goes to grab Dom's Intercontinental title, and Dom says, "This is as close you're going to get to one of these." And he said, "Get out of here before something bad happens to you."
You know something? You're cursed.
Yeah, he said, "Something bad's going to happen to me? Well, you're cursed." So, if you know anything about Danhausen, you know what's going to happen later in the night, because Dominic Mysterio has a match. And Intercontinental title match, Dom Mysterio versus Penta. Very good match. Maybe seeing a Finn heel turn or face turn, because Dominic Mysterio told J.D. McDonough to go get him the hammer from the ring bell, and Finn stopped him. Penta wins the Intercontinental title. Awesome. Penta finally needed something.
Yes.
So that's really cool. And Dom's a great, heel, so he'll be able to complain about this. So if that leads to Finn against Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania, awesome.
Or at least a little bit of a match with Dom and Danhausen.
Oh, yeah, that would be... Because Danhausen's not going to do a lot of wrestling. No. He's just not. He is good in the ring. I mean, we saw him at a show in Vermont. I will post our pictures of us meeting him, because I'm glad that we got to meet him at an indie show, because the prices to meet him with Fanatics and WWE is going to be probably crazy. So they did a really good promo exchange between CM Punk and Roman.
One thing that needs to come out of Danhausen being in WWE, R-Truth and him. Just put those two in a segment together.
And
just let him go.
Add Mr. Iguana in there, and you
get
a complete goal. But, yeah, if they don't do an interaction between between Danhausen and R-Truth. At some point, they're missing out.
Mm-hmm.
Punk and Roman did kind of a work-shoot promo against each other, and at the end of it, CM Punk said, I'm going to bury you. I'm going to bury you next to your father. And I wrote, is CM Punk turning into Christian Cage? Because we're talking about people's dead fathers.
Yes.
Now, you know what I mean? So, this actually happened a while ago. Did you, or actually right after we recorded our last episode, did you watch any of Grand Slam, the AEW event from Australia?
The highlights,
Okay.
yes.
I'm not going to go blow by blow, but...
And we were actually right about who got shaved bald.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of easy to predict, but Jon Moxley versus Takeshita for the Continental title. Great opening match. It went to a time limit draw. They did, for the women's tag titles, the Babes of Wrath versus Mega Bad, which is Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. The Babes of Wrath retained. Makes me think of, why couldn't Penelope Ford have taken the loss with Thunder Rosa instead of Julia Hart? You're not really going to do anything with Penelope Ford, you know.
Right.
But whatever, you know, I'm not trying to bag on Penelope Ford, but I think Julia Hart has the more potential. But whatever. Harley Cameron did a Canadian Destroyer on Megan Bayne, which Megan Bayne is huge. So the fact that both of them got over on it is pretty crazy. The Babes of Wrath retained, but Lena Cross, who was actually taller than Megan Bayne, came out and attacked after the match. So that they're doing like a faction with Megan Bayne, Penelope Ford, and Lena Cross. Hangman Page versus Andrade to become #1 contender for the AEW title. I'm not a big fan of Andrade, but it was a really good match. Hangman Adam Page used a low blow and hit the buckshot lariat to get the win. So now he's the #1 contender for MJF's world title. And the match you talked about, mixed tag, hair versus hair. Orange Cassidy and Timeless Toni Storm versus Mina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta of the Death Riders. Toni Storm gets the pin on Wheeler Yuta, so they shave his head, and they shaved like the top and the middle, and he had the long hair hanging down, and that was a really funny look. So, and now they shaved it completely bald,
Yes.
but
And speaking of somebody else who got their head shaved bald, I don't know what I think it was through AAA promotion or New Japan, but Johnny Nitro got his head shaved bald.
Oh yeah, it was CMLL. Yep.
Yep.
Because they have the deal with AEW. Yeah. The hair matches are a big thing in Mexico, especially hair versus mask matches.
Yes.
So, then for the TNT title, a ladder match. Jay Briscoe against Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher coming in as champion. Wow. At one point, they set up a ladder in the corner, and it was, sticking into the ring. Kyle Fletcher puts Mark Briscoe on his shoulder and lawn darts him into the ladder, and the ladder went flying. It was pretty gnarly. Jay Briscoe did a Jay Driller on a ladder bridge on Kyle Fletcher. That's the only... I'm going to kind of sound like Jim Cornette on this one. That's the only thing that bothers me about these ladder matches is before, like, the Money in the Bank and all that stuff, when they first started those, the guys were trying to win. Yes, they were doing spectacular stuff off the ladders, but they were trying to win. A lot of them now are just trying to do spectacular stuff without actually trying to win the match. When you're doing the Jay Driller on a ladder bridge, you spent all of that time to do the ladder bridge. You could have just done a couple Jay Drillers in a row and then went up the ladder. I want a little bit of consistency in psychology, that's all I'm saying. Kyle Fletcher did a brain buster off the ladder on Mark Briscoe, and Kyle Fletcher retained. Hometown, in Australia, makes total sense. The main event for the AEW title, MJF versus Brody King. I thought it was a really great match. It cements Brody King as a top guy, which they need right now, especially baby faces. MJF retains. So really, really, really cool.
And can we talk about it a little bit with now with Brody King coming in and everything?
Yeah, go ahead.
Them chanting "fuck ice."
Yeah, I mean, some of the wrestling fans are getting political, and
yes,
whatever. I mean, we don't talk politics on here, but they're leaving it in, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, well, the next week Brody King wasn't on TV because of that. WBD said he was flying to Australia to do promos for the show. Like, that's what you were saying. Like, some wrestling fans just jump to conclusions and, say a bunch of things. But, all right. Why don't we do this now?
Show me what you got.
No.
Show me what you got.
Why don't you show...
this is just for Triple H.
That's actually pretty funny. Yeah, fuck you, Triple H. I thought of what I'm going to do. I watched some content on YouTube where they do a clip reel of some of their favorite stuff from the show. I am going to do that and put it on our TikTok. And one of those is me saying, you know what, Triple H, fuck you. That's gonna be one of the things that... So what do you got there?
Went to a Renaissance fair down in Florida.
Yep.
This is one of the shirts I got.
That's pretty cool. The Florida, that's cool. Makes me think of the Black Knight from from Monty Python. It's just a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound.
So, he's got so many things.
Yes. This was my free shirt.
You said it was buy one get one, right?
Yes, this was my free one.
That's cool. Oh, see, that's the figure they were going to do at one point with him as a zombie tearing, his flesh instead of the shirt. So that's cool. I like that. What else?
Then this is the one I think you wanted that you never got a chance to get.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. I mean, I might go down to his shop at some point because they're going to keep it open as long as they have the license. His family's going to keep the shop open, so that's really cool. I like that one.
Oh, this was the other one.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Yeah, you can find some pretty good shirts in Florida, especially at special events like that.
Yes.
Is that one's mine?
No, yours is coming.
Oh, okay. This is the shirt I wanted. The Hollywood Hogan for life with the skull. Yeah, I mean, that's just cool. He owned the license to all of his merchandise from the NWO era, which makes me happy. So, the fact that we could get those. You went hog wild.
Yes, I did.
I can't lie, so did I. The Beach Shop logo, that's cool. The Orlando one is bigger than the Clearwater one. I always went to Clearwater because it was closer to where I used to stay in Florida.
We went to Ripley's.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Ripley's, believe it or not.
They have a couple of them down there in Florida.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's odd down in Florida, What? Oh my God! It's like Mary Poppins' bag here. You're just pulling out all kinds of stuff. That's cool. An old school NWO hoodie. Have you seen? I don't know how often you're on TikTok, but there's people that sell NWO shirts, and they have that one. And they play the NWO Wolfpack music behind it.
Oh my God!
If you're gonna sell a branded shirt, do a little research on what kind of music you should put behind it.
And this one was one of the new releases that they did.
Okay. Oh, I like that. That's got like a Vice City vibe.
And they have one that says Clearwater too.
That's cool.
On their website.
I like that. That's really cool.
Ba, ba, ba.
That makes me happy. I was looking for one of these in my size. It's got that's so cool. I mean, it doesn't say WCW or NWO. Well, it does, but it just, that's cool. Knowing it came from his beach shop, too, that makes me happy.
Then, this was another thing from the Renaissance Fair that I got.
That's really cool. I like that. That's, an embossed, tankard, or, that's really cool.
I freaking love this.
That's great.
And I got you cards to this, and I got you a sticker.
Uh-oh.
You have to go check out this place.
Okay, well, he loves getting me business cards, and the sticker, that's cool. I like that. That's a guy, skiing with, a stormtrooper mask on with the TIE fighters behind him.
I knew that you would love that.
That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, that's cool.
And this is what I got you from there.
See, this ties into something I bought too, but Roddy Piper as John Nada from They Live. I came here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. If you've never seen They Live, you definitely need to check it out. One of Roddy Piper's best, performances in movies. That's really cool. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. And we went to the world's largest McDonald's. This is one of the commemorative coins I got.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. I'll take. You want to leave those here, and I'll take pictures of them and post it.
Your choice of which one do you want from the
Okay.
McDonald's.
Oh, I gotta go Hamburglar. I'm not going Ronald. I'm going Hamburglar. That's
Then-
cool. Thank you.
This was one I got from Ripley's
Oh, I like
of
that.
the Shrunken Head.
That's cool. I like that. Yep, Ripley's Believe It or Not. I like that.
Then at the Renaissance, when I didn't bring the belt with me. I said it was close enough to my birthday. They go, "Oh, you get a free pin."
I'm not getting distracted. I'm on a side quest. I like that. I like that a lot. That's really cool.
And
Is that all you got?
yeah,
Okay, so I have a lot. First thing I wanna do. I love the Incredible Hulk. He's my favorite superhero. I went to the Salvation Army because I like finding DVDs of like obscure movies. You know, like the stuff that comes out of the $5 bin at Walmart. That, you know, like the B movies, because they're easy to find at like thrift stores and stuff. But I saw, this isn't the actual one I saw there, but it says The Incredible Hulk, How the Legend Began. This is right before the Ang Lee, like, I think it's 2008, Incredible Hulk, 2003 Incredible Hulk came out. This has the pilot episode of the Lou Ferrigno Incredible Hulk on it, and then it has a sneak preview inside the making of the Hulk, and it has an introduction by Lou Ferrigno, and it has a bonus episode of the Incredible Hulk Married. So when I opened the actual disc, it just had disc 2. It didn't have the main disc.
Aww.
But I found this completely sealed, brand new on eBay for $10. So
Nice.
I will do a review of this because... And so what I did was I bought... I have, you know, a bunch of movies, you know, like B movies that I watch. So I just took a brand new, you know, cover off of that, put the sleeve of this, you know, the other of this, and I'm just going to display it with my Hulk stuff. So perfect, you know what I mean? So I didn't lose out after all.
And this man has a shit ton of Hulk
I
stuff.
do. At some point, I'll have to do like a video showing all of my Hulk stuff, which, as I'm going to show later, I've added to it. So
Yes, yes, he has.
and then this, I told you about this.
Yes, this was an awesome find.
I went to a junk shop. It's called, they call it a thrift shop. It's not. It's a junk shop. I mean, there's tools and stuff. I don't know how this thing passes fire code, because if you're in the middle of this store and the fire breaks out, you aren't making it out. I'm just saying. Not throwing shade on the store. I'm happy that I found this. But I'm looking through and it's dark in there too. Like it's, you know, you can't really see very well. But on my second walkthrough, because I always like, on a store like that, I always like to walk through a couple of times just in case you miss something. And I saw the one wrestling item. I always seem to find at least one wrestling item in every store I go to. But I saw an 8x10 and it was autographed. And I'm like, and it was personalized. It looked like it was personalized to a family member. Come to find out, it is. And I walked up and I said, you know, is that autographed 8x10 for sale? He said, yeah. He charged me $35, which I found out was overpriced, but I don't care.
No, because it's a unique find.
Yes. Horace Hogan, the nephew of Hulk Hogan, who wrestled in WCW and was part of the NWO, not the great part of the NWO, but still part of the NWO.
And it breaks it down onto the back, which you sent a picture
Yes.
of what year he signed it and everything.
Yep, and this was to his Aunt Franny. Says Love Mike. Mike is his real name, and then he signed it with Horace Hogan. So, and the aunt that he signed this to lives in Vermont, or lives in Vermont, and the shop was in Vermont. And I verified this is his signature. Like, I've looked at enough examples of his signature online. This is his signature. So to have a family piece, you know,
Yes.
I don't care that it's not, you know, addressed to me. So what? I've got a cool find that I found in a junk shop out of nowhere. This is cool.
Yes.
This was not the frame that it came in, by the way. It came in a really crappy frame, and I just put it in this one. So this makes me happy. Finding stuff like this, obscure stuff. Did I overpay when his autograph is going for $10 on eBay? Absolutely I did. But I have something unique that is addressed to a family member of his that nobody else is going to have.
No.
So this makes me happy.
Yes.
But I have so many things. So, and we do have more wrestling stuff to talk about, I'm just saying. But I went back to Replay Toys in Jamestown, New York, and you know who my favorite villain is in Masters of the Universe. I got 2 Triclops figures. He's my favorite, so I got those. And I'm a Donatello mark. He's my favorite. So I got the beach volleyball Donatello. It's got the little pack on the back where you can squeeze it and it squirts water out of his mouth if you put water in the back. So I like that. That's really cool. I kind of want to see if I can get a little action figure volleyball to put with that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I'm sure I can. But then the Stone Warriors from Dimension X. This was only $40, which it was more than that when it was at Target. So, but this, when the Neutrinos came out in the Dimension X episode, the Stone Warriors came out to try to get them back. This is so cool. I love this. These NECA, NECA does such a good job on their stuff. So,
I sent you one of the Ninja Turtles from Walmart.
Yep. There's so many Ninja Turtles. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen now that Playmates is not going to have the Ninja Turtle license anymore, which sucks, but maybe another company will do even more. You know what I mean? The crossover they did with like He-Man and stuff like that. The Transformers one didn't do too well, and they did like a Godzilla one, which the figures don't look very good. You know what I mean? But they're doing a G.I. Joe crossover, which I can't wait to see what they do with that. So thank you to Replay Toys. If you're ever near Johnstown, New York, take a trip to Replay Toys. They actually they have a lot of good. They have old G.I. Joes. They have old Ninja Turtles. They have old wrestling figures. I hope nobody buys this. They have a complete Technodrome from the Ninja Turtles. They have a Grayskull, Castle Grayskull from Masters of the Universe. They have Legos. They have NECA figures, and it's an awesome store. So Replay Toys in Johnstown, New York. I have also. I went to Toying Around in, not Johnstown. Replay Toys is in Burnt Hills. This store is in Johnstown. Toying Around, 38 West Main Street in Johnstown, New York. It pays to have their business card, kids. And the guy at the counter said that I can bring some of our flyers down and they will display them in their store.
Sweet.
Because probably because I told him we were going to give him a shout out on the show. They have so much stuff in this store, and it is so well laid out. I got to bring you down there because I'm sure you'll be interested in a lot of the stuff they have there. So check out Toying Around. But I went a little crazy.
As you do.
I do. But I've met Dijak, so I got a basic Dijak for $10. So that,
which is not bad.
Nope. And another one I've met. I only got his autograph. I did not get a picture with him, but I did meet him, Nikolai Volkov. So I got this. I'm going to do a whole display at some point with like a monitor, and I'm going to have a slideshow of all the wrestlers I've met, and I'm going to have the action figures in front of the monitor all set up. So that's really cool. When I met him, it was when the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, not like the WWE one, but it was in Amsterdam, New York, and you could either get a picture with the wrestler or you could get their autograph. Well, I wanted Nikolai Volkov's autograph in my encyclopedia, which I've mentioned before. It's stupid because they had them all on one long table, so you could have done the autograph and then you could have gone behind the table afterwards and done your pictures. But the way they run it, I can't complain because it was for free, so I can't really complain. You know what I mean? But still, I am complaining because I like doing it. But I also saw this, and Undertaker's my favorite wrestler, so this classic for $20, one of the Jakks Pacific classic superstars. It has the purple, necktie, which it has white boots. Like, these aren't even gray boots, they're white boots. Which but it has the purple gloves and a few of his.
Let's just say that Jakks Pacific never got some of the
some of them were some of them weren't that great, but still I really like that. This one I could not believe the price on, but I'm happy that I found it. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, who I've met, $25 for the classic superstar. So that really, if you want to check that out.
Oh, look, it's the Undertaker that I found for you and sent you.
Yep, that's really cool. And then I bought a few loose figures.
I used to have this Jake the Snake Roberts.
Did you? Nice.
Got ruined.
But for my Macho Man Slim Jim display, another Macho Man loose figure.
Oh yeah!
And then this, I think this was in the $4 bin. Nation of Domination, D'Lo Brown.
Nation of Masturbation.
And then an old school Jack's Pacific Commissioner Slaughter.
Yeah.
With, papers in his hand, and it says WWF on the papers in his hand. So, so thank you, Toying Around. If you're ever near Johnstown, go to Toying Around and check them out. They have good deals. They have.
This actually has. Taking special care of your toys and shit written on the paper.
That's cool. So, I went back up to Mountain Treasures in Vermont, and their store is really cool. And as soon as I got there, she said to me, because she noticed me starting to go towards the where the wrestlers are, and she goes, I just got some new ones in. And I was like, I wasn't really planning on spending a lot. But then I see...
Yes!
The old school Earthquake with the blue trunks with the Canadian flag. I had to. And $28, okay. And then another one I haven't met Earthquake, but he was one of my favorite heels. And then there's one I've met. Yes. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat with the TV title from WCW when he was doing the airbrush dragon on his tights.
You know what sucks is that they don't have this belt in any of the new WWE games.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. And then another wrestler I've met and that you've met, we met him at a show in Cologne.
Yes, Warlord.
He had this exact face paint on at that show as well, the Warlord in the Powers of Pain outfit. $20. Yes. And for the elite one.
You like the one I found for you at the Target, the one when he had
yeah. Yeah, when he was with Slick and he was doing, he was with Harvey Whippleman at that point too. But then I saw a couple figures that I didn't have enough money to get, and I was hoping they were still there. And I went back yesterday, and they were still there. This ties into what you got me. The Roddy Piper Hollywood They Live John Nada figure. This is badass, and for $25, I was hoping it was still there, and it was. And then I talked about how much of an Incredible Hulk mark I am.
Yes, you are.
A Target exclusive Incredible Hulk Marvel Legends figure. It's $50, but still, it's going to go with my display. Yes. I love it, and there was another Hulk that was laying down. I only noticed it because the bottom of the figure... It was like down here. It was clear, and you could see the bottom of the feet. That was the only way I noticed it was a Hulk. It was the Rampaging Hulk. I think it was $25. I'm hoping it's still there, but seeing as how the stuff that I found was still there. So, and then I went to Target today just to look, and I bought the AWA Kurt Hennig.
Yes!
So that makes me happy. So that's all I've got for Show Me What You Got, and, do you want to go right into yours? Is that where you want to go? I guess the speaker turned off. It's time for Nick's picks. And I love what you picked, but you picked a feud, and man, was there a lot of content for this feud. So what did you pick?
Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio from 2005.
Yep.
Peak Eddie.
Yeah, I would say this was the feud of the year for 2005. But you wanted to start out when they won the tag titles.
Yes.
So, at No Way Out 2005, Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio versus the Bashams for the tag titles. Eddie Guerrero cheats with the title belt to get the win. I thought the Bashams were highly underrated.
Yes, they were. And this is just before they did the cabinet stuff.
Right. The next SmackDown, they did a rematch with the Bashams and they retained the belts. And March 3rd in the Albany, they called it the Pepsi Arena back then. We're close to Albany, so that's pretty cool.
Yes, we are.
Tag match against Luther Reigns and Mark Jindrak. An alright match. Eddie and Ray retained the tag titles. On the next SmackDown against Orlando Jordan and JBL, JBL and Orlando Jordan got DQ'd. The JBL's cabinet beat down Ray and Eddie, and John Cena came out to help out, so that was pretty
John
cool.
Cena?
John Cena. They were building up John Cena at this point.
Yes,
so,
they were. And he was really starting to come into his own at this point.
Right. And then they did the next one. They did Eddie, Ray, and John Cena against JBL and the Bashams. I did not put who won, so I was slacking on that.
It's all right.
I'm kind of running because there's a lot. I mean,
yes.
we're building up. I mean, and then the next one, very serious. Eddie Guerrero challenges Rey Mysterio to a match, or challenges, yeah. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, he said he wants a match with Ray, but then they do a tag match with Charlie Haas and Hardcore Holly. They retain the tag titles with a frog splash, but at this point, Ray doesn't think Eddie's serious, about wanting a match, but Eddie is. You know? So, and then the next SmackDown, Eddie Guerrero versus Danny Basham, and Rey Mysterio causes Eddie to lose. We're starting to foreshadow, what I mean? And then in that same show, it's Rey Mysterio against Doug Basham, and Eddie causes Ray to lose. So, and then we go to WrestleMania 21, which is Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. And
the first time and only time that tag team champions have faced each other one-on-one on the grandest stage.
Yep. Classic fast-paced match. It was the opening match for WrestleMania.
Which kind of sucks that it was the opening match.
Yeah, but it was a good way to get the show started. Yes. But Ray won with a Hurricane Rana. Doesn't compare, in my opinion, to their Halloween Havoc 97 match, but still a really great match. And then on the next SmackDown, it's JBL versus Rey Mysterio. Ray had the match won, but Eddie attacks JBL, getting Ray disqualified. So...
No, it wasn't for the world.
No, because Cena had won at WrestleMania. But Carlitos Cabana on the next SmackDown. Rey Mysterio is the guest. Who do we see the debut of in this?
Is it Matt Morgan?
Nope.
No. Who the fuck was it again?
Tag team.
M&M.
Yes, M&M makes their debut. They attack Ray, and Eddie does not come out to help. And then there's a match, Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle. They do a ref bump. And Eddie Guerrero thinks Ray was going to hit him with the chair, but Ray was going to hit Kurt Angle with the chair, or hit Kurt Angle with the chair. Kurt wins. And then the next week they do a Carlitos Cabana with Eddie. He and Ray reconcile. M&M erupts on the screen. M&M challenges for the tag titles. They spray paint Eddie Guerrero's lowrider, so that goads them into a tag title match. Melina distracts Eddie, and M&M wins the tag titles, and Eddie and Ray start pushing and arguing after the match, and Eddie pushes Ray to the ground, Ray pushes Eddie to the ground. We're leading all kinds of things. So, and then on the next SmackDown, they do a long backstage segment with Chavo. Chavo's kind of stirring the shit.
Yeah, definitely he was.
Eddie has a sour look on his face. Eddie doesn't even reach out for the tag. And M&M retains the tag titles, and then Eddie watches M&M beat down Ray. And then on the next one, Ray calls out Eddie. Eddie refuses to fight. They do Ray versus Chavo in a street fight. Eddie attacks M&M, then attacks Ray. Ray is busted open, torn mask. And what does Eddie Guerrero do to Ray?
Brain buster right on the steel steps.
Yep, awesome.
It was... And I actually have this action figure set where he has the torn mask.
Yep.
And both Eddie and him. Remind me to bring that one onto the show to show it off.
Okay. I'll write that down. Eddie figure reminder.
Yep, and Ray.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the Jack Pacific one.
Okay. Let's see. And then on the next one, Eddie is sitting in a chair in the middle of the ring, by himself, explains himself, and he starts yelling at the ripped mask.
It's such good shit.
It's really, really good. And then the next week, Eddie comes out again for a promo with the mask, throws it down and steps on it, and then walks out. And then we get to Judgment Day. Really good match.
Didn't he have a match with somebody and he put the fucking Ray mask on them and started
I think he did. It might have been like Funaki or something like that. But
one of them, yes.
I might have fast-forwarded through that, you know what I mean? But Judgment Day, Eddie gets DQ'd for using the chair like a baseball bat when Ray does a springboard and Eddie just, clocks him with the chair. And then he beats Ray down with the chair. They didn't really need to do a lot in this match because they're still building. The next episode of SmackDown is just video recap, so no Eddie and Ray on the show. Then the next week, Eddie cuts a promo about Ray. And then the next week, Eddie wrestled Paul London, and Ray attacked Eddie with a chair. The next episode, June 23rd, awesome video package, Eddie versus Ray. Always a great match with them two. Ray wins again, and Eddie smiles, so we're definitely foreshadowing. And then the June 30th episode of SmackDown, Eddie plays footage of him with Dominic, and the secret storyline starts.
Yes!
And, Eddie goes to, Dominic's school, and he's out with him on the playground. Now that kind of would be frowned upon.
Yes.
Man going to talk to a kid, you know what I mean? Even if he is his uncle. That I don't think that would fly now.
No, wouldn't.
The July 7th, Eddie and Ray against Eminem for the tag titles. Eddie sits at ringside while Ray wrestles. Ray is about to win. Eddie attacks him, and Eminem retains.
He actually forced this tag match.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So
because he's holding that secret over Ray's head.
Yep. Yeah. So it was great. So he gets Ray to get all this punishment, and he just sits there.
Yes.
Awesome stuff. And then on the July 14th, Eddie cuts a promo about a bedtime story, and Vicky Guerrero and Eddie Guerrero's kids come out.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, it's good. Such good stuff. I wish Eddie Guerrero was still around. He would just, It would just be, oh my God, the stuff he would be doing would be tremendous. Eddie wrestled Bob Holly, and then he lays out the stipulations for the Great American Bash. If Eddie wins, he gets to tell the secret. If Ray wins, he doesn't tell the secret.
And he just locks it away.
Yep. On the 21st of July, Rey Mysterio versus Super Crazy, which actually was a really good match. This is when there was the Mexicools.
Yes!
If you haven't, Google the Mexicools. It is ridiculous, and this definitely, well, I don't know, with the stuff that's going on in the country, I don't want to get political, but it might fly today with the way people...
I don't know!
Eddie Guerrero on commentary. Eddie's so good at being a heel. Taz and Michael Cole are trying to get answers out of him, and Eddie just keeps telling them to shut up, and saying, I'm doing this for Ray's own good. Sometimes you have to discipline a family member, stuff like that. So good.
Just like what he was doing with Chavo back in WCW.
Yeah. And the thing is that this philosophy always works. When you're a heel, a real heel, you truly believe what you're saying is the right thing.
Yes.
You believe it. You believe all the things that you're saying. Perfect. Super Crazy got DQ'd using... Rey Mysterio got... Wait a minute. Yeah, Rey Mysterio gets DQ'd because... No. Wait. Super Crazy gets DQ'd because Eddie Guerrero hits Rey Mysterio with a rake. Because they're doing the Mexicools. They have lawn equipment and stuff with them. So that's just, my brain just locked up there. And then Teddy Long says, "You're not done for the night" to Eddie Guerrero, and he says, "No, my gear's out in the car. I can't wrestle tonight. I'm leaving." Teddy says, "You have a secret opponent," and do you remember who it was?
No.
Chris Benoit.
Yes.
So Eddie gets himself counted out, and then Rey Mysterio attacks Eddie Guerrero in the aisleway.
Those two always had great matches.
They really did, yeah. Benoit and Eddie had really great matches.
And is it on the list where they faced each other at One Night Stand?
I did not put that on there because I wasn't thinking about that as the feud, but they had a really good match at One Night Stand.
Because it kind of ties in with Eddie heel character. They kind of actually got in a real fucking fist fight a little bit in the ring.
Yeah.
Because he thought it would jeopardize what he was doing and everything.
Right. No, it was a really good match. And then at the Great American Bash, if Ray loses, Eddie tells the secret. They did a really good video package. Dominic Mysterio sitting at ringside. I think he was 8 years old at this point.
Yes, he was 8.
Yeah, another classic match. Eddie too concerned with Dominic. He lays on Ray
nonchalantly.
After the frog splash. Crucifix pin by Rey Mysterio. Eddie still can't beat Rey Mysterio. Awesome. Just awesome. And then on the next episode of SmackDown, what happens? Do you remember?
He lied!
Rey comes out with Dominic, and is about to celebrate, and then Eddie says, I know I said, I'm going to keep the secret, but I lied the first time he said that. Right?
Yes!
He reveals Rey is not Dominic's father, and that's where the I'm Your Poppy shirt comes from. He says, I'm your poppy, and then I don't know what mic they turned up to hear this, but you hear Dominic Mysterio saying, "Is it true, Dad? Is it true?" And then Dominic runs out, Rey runs after him, and then Eddie Guerrero finishes the story, which is great. The next week, they do the Peep Show, Christian Cage's Peep Show. Rey demands Eddie Guerrero comes out. Eddie starts to read Chapter 2 from backstage, and then Eddie reveals the custody papers, which is so he said he never released custody to Eddie. He just gave Dominic to him without going through that process, which is just tremendous.
Yes!
And then on the August 11th episode, Eddie Guerrero comes out with a social worker. This is not how things work, folks, but it's tremendous.
It is.
Rey and Angie, Rey Mysterio's wife, comes out with Dominic, and Rey Mysterio tries to goad Eddie into a match, calling him chicken shit, and Eddie Guerrero starts to twitch, you know what I mean? Saying,
You know better, I'm not a chicken shit!
they bleeped it out, but it's still great. So Rey says, SummerSlam, a match for custody of Dominic. That's not the way these things work, but it's great in a wrestling storyline. It's great. So absurd as
and ladder match.
Yep, yeah. They didn't announce the ladder match at that show, but and then the social worker says Dominic needs to go into foster care until SummerSlam. Once again, not the way these things work, but still great. And then on the next episode, on the 18th of August, Eddie is in the ring with the ladder in the ring, does a promo, and then Rey Mysterio beats Simon Dean. I completely forgot about the Simon Dean character in 2005. We need to go into a deep dive on SmackDown in 2005.
Yes, we do.
Not right now, but we definitely need to. We definitely need to do a SmackDown 2005 deep dive
because there was such great shit.
Really, I mean, you had Mr. Kennedy debuting, Bobby Lashley debuting, Heidenreich as part of the Legion of Doom.
Yes.
We definitely need to do a SmackDown 2005 deep dive. But and then at SummerSlam, very good ladder match.
And he had Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot to talk about in SmackDown 2005. Very good ladder match. Dom runs in and tries to shake the ladder when Eddie is about to win. Yeah, he doesn't move it at all. I mean, he's an 8-year-old kid,
I love the look on Eddie's face like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think this is a must-watch match. I think it's the best match of the feud. Eddie Guerrero does the Three Amigos, and the final part of that is on the ladder on the mat, and man, that I don't know how you take that without getting hurt. But Vicky Guerrero comes out, pushes the ladder over when Eddie's about to win, and then she holds him down.
Yeah,
which is funny because Eddie's trying to struggle. You know what I mean?
And can we talk about where Vicky missed her cue and you can they bleeped it out on the DVD, but if you watched it live, you can hear Eddie go, "Where the fuck is Vicky?"
Yeah, that's so Rey Mysterio wins custody of Dominic. That's really great. And then the next week, Eddie Guerrero cuts a promo about wrestling Rey Mysterio in a steel cage. He says how you can beat someone when they've lost everything. Yes. Awesome.
And this is when they introduced my favorite theme song of his, Gangster Lane.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Then the next week, in a steel cage, the premiere episode of Friday Night SmackDown. I like how the cage being so close to the ropes negates the 619, which is an awesome, something they didn't really point out a lot, which actually is a really cool thing. Rey misses a crossbody off the cage. Eddie is all the way out the door, but goes back in, chooses to win with the frog splash. He finally beats Rey Mysterio. Awesome way to end. And then the next week, it's not Rey Mysterio named as #1 contender. Eddie is the #1 contender.
Yes.
awesome. So he's on a title match with Batista, and it's the last feud he has before he passes away.
And
so,
it's
awesome.
sad because they were actually going to put the world title on him.
Yeah, they were.
Because there was plans for them to put the title on him.
I was going to go through TNA Genesis, but we've been at this for almost an hour and 10 minutes. I just want to say, go watch TNA Genesis. It was a good show. I think TNA needs more talent because AEW and WWE kind of picked them dry, especially pulling Joe Hendry away. But they still have a lot of talent. Steve Maclin lost the Feast or Fired match, and he was fired. And then he came back and he attacked Mike Santana at the end of this event. Mike Santana's the TNA champion. And then Steve Maclin got a chance to explain himself at the end of a TNA Impact. And Tom Hannafin, who used to be an announcer for NXT, I think he's really good as an announcer for TNA, especially with Matthew Raywalt, who used to be Aiden English in WWE as his color guy.
Yes.
And Hannafin and Maclin are really good friends in real life, so it played well. The crowd was incredibly disrespectful during this segment. They were chanting just for the sake of chanting. They were drowning out Steve Maclin just to throw him off. The what chants need to stop. The crowd's trying to get themselves over needs to stop. And you know what I blame? I don't blame the ECW crowds. Yes, they made themselves part of the show, but they were not doing it to the detriment of the show. I blame the international crowds that brought the singing and shit into it,
yes,
that cared more about getting themselves over than worrying about what's happening in the ring. This was incredibly disrespectful to Steve Maclin, and I hope it doesn't happen again. That was ridiculous. But Steve Maclin gets frustrated, punches Hannafin in the stomach, goes out of the ring, shoves down Matthew Raywalt, and I hope it leads to a match with him and Raywalt, because I think that would be really cool.
Absolutely.
But Steve Maclin obviously is going to be heel again in TNA, so they're going to reinstate him at some point, because you have Daria Ray as the heel kind of commissioner, and then you have Santino Marella as the
babyface.
You know, so I'm going to say that, Santino's going to tell him, I'm not going to hire you, and then Daria's going to go behind Santino's back and hire Maclin back. You know what I mean? Because that's I guess that's what it's going to lead to. That's why I feel. And then I'm going to do, well, here, you can do it. I'm going to do it really quickly. I've got to get some kind of thing for that. I've got ideas, but Dave's Faves, a classic.
Yes.
A cult classic, but a classic nonetheless.
Can I just say this? Wolfman's got NARS!
Exactly. The Monster Squad, if you like the Goonies, if you like any kind of fantasy, if you like Harry Potter or anything like, this is classic 80s. And I have to say, rest in peace to Tom Noonan. He just recently died. He played the Frankenstein monster in this movie. Also, on YouTube, search Tom Noonan doing in-character interview as Frankenstein. He's in the full Frankenstein makeup. It's behind the scenes. He talks as if Frankenstein is an actor.
Yeah.
Not that Frankenstein is a character, that Frankenstein is a monster that is the actor that plays Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It is tremendous. He asks him, how long have you been in the business? He says, I've been in the business 52 years. Meaning that he is an actual monster who's been alive since 1932 playing Frankenstein. Tremendous. It's like 7 minutes long. Just search Tom Noonan, in-character interview as Frankenstein. One of the best DVD extras ever. It's on YouTube. I have it downloaded and saved because I like watching it because it's so good. It makes me smile. Like, if I'm in a bad mood, I'll watch that interview, and it's just... It's great. Really need to watch it. But Monster Squad, find it on DVD. If you can stream it, awesome movie. It's just...
Can I throw another one in?
Go ahead.
Because we mentioned it earlier.
Yes.
Definitely. The Monty Python, the search with the Holy Grail.
Oh, yeah. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Classic. Yes. If you don't get British humor, it might, but it's great.
Still, my favorite is Bring out your dead.
Yeah, bring out your dead. Yeah, it just because in medieval times, they literally were having carts go during the plague, and they were throwing dead bodies on carts and carting them off. So it's really good. To end, unless you got anything else, I'm going to kind of wrap up. There are 3 shows that we are going to be going to. One, we're going to just as fans, and then the next 2 we are going to be doing tables at. One he's not going to be at, so I will be doing the table alone, but I'm okay at representing the show. He's a little more outgoing at some of the shows, but it'll still be fun to represent our show. XWA, March 21st, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, a 5 p.m. bell time. This is going to be the culmination, Mikey Cheese versus Justin Rando for the XWA title. I would love to see Mikey Cheese get the XWA title. Well, that would be cool. We will be there just as fans. His brother Billy is coming with us. Then April 11th, Pure Vanguard Wrestling. I've never gone to Pure Vanguard Wrestling, but my buddy Bill Dredd is wrestling. He's kind of doing his retirement tour. So the Sportatorium Spectacular, a 3 p.m. bell time. This is the one I said we got to get there early. At the Vanguard Sportatorium in Wolcott, Connecticut. I can't wait to do this. It's another market for us, Connecticut.
April 11th. That's the one I can't go to.
Is that the one you're not going to?
Let me recheck the...
Okay, well, either way, I'm going to be at both of them. And then May 2nd, Connecticut Wrestling Federation, back to the 80s.
Nope, I won't be there because I got to work.
Okay, well, he's going to the May 2nd one then. Back to the 80s at the Silk Arcade, Middletown, Connecticut, an 8 p.m. bell time. That one's going to be a little rough. An 8 p.m. bell time. That means it's going to be a long drive home. But still will be worth it. It will be fun. So, and I work nights, so I'll be able to get plenty of sleep the next day. So whatever.
And I have the next day off, so...
Exactly. So if you can go to those shows, go. We'd be happy to meet you there. Support indie wrestling. They're a lot of fun. And so I can't wait for that. So we will do a film review, because at those shows... We do watch the show while we're there because nobody's coming up to our table during the matches, so we get to watch the matches as well. So we will review all of those shows on future episodes. There'll be video games to talk about. There'll be movies to talk about. There's plenty of wrestling to talk about. And do you have a next pick in mind, or are you just gonna figure that out at some other time?
I'm gonna wing it.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through some shit and see what I can find.
Well, I mean, we do have the viewer's choice, Nick, but I'm talking about one for him. So
I'm just going to wing it and go through some stuff.
All right, I like it. Cheappops.redbubble.com for
merchandise.
I mean, you can get that cool logo on a shirt or a sticker or all kinds of things. We have good stuff.
And we got this in different colors. Too.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. So And at Cheap Pop Show on social media, I've been posting more. I've been trying to, and like I said, I said I was going to post pictures of things. I posted pictures of all the stuff from our last episode. So at Cheap Pop Show on social media, I put up a couple more TikTok videos, and so if you stuck with us this long, thank you. And like, comment, subscribe. We love people that watch our show. Thank you so much.
In the words of Skeletor,
say it.
Until we meet again.
Pop guys out.